Located in the heart of the Ozarks, perched high in the hills, with narrow, winding streets, and enough hospitality to please the whole family. Take a trip to beautiful, historical Eureka Springs, Arkansas, a place where bed and breakfast inns and nature's beauty dot the winding, uneven streets, as do the springs that gave the town its name.
A lot of people that come to Eureka Springs kind of consider this their personal retreat. It's their own private secret. A little village nestled away in the Ozarks, and even when it's crowded here, folks still feel like they found a secret place that they can come and enjoy relaxation. And I think that's the key word in Eureka Springs is relaxation. The pace is a little slower, the atmosphere is a little gentler, and that really summarizes the Eureka experience. Folks come to Eureka and they're generally surprised that there is a genuine Victorian village with this level of quality in our restoration and preservation located so close to home. They are driving through the mountains, very rural, unpopulated area, and all of a sudden they're in this gem of a village called Eureka Springs. They're surprised at the number of hotel rooms that are here, the number of restaurants, the number of facilities that exist in this little town of 1900, where we've actually got almost twice as many motel rooms as we do people living here.
Beginning in 1879, people started coming to Eureka to pan for water, not gold. Referred to as the city that water built, you have to take yourself back to a time when people believed that certain kinds of pure mineral water could restore sight to the blind, clear up skin disease, or cure a number of other ailments. Eureka's water, which bubbles out of the mountainsides from more than 60 springs, became the therapeutic sensations of the country in the late 1800s.
Eureka Springs was established in the mid-1800s, and people came because of the springs. They were reputed to have healing powers, healed everything from bunions to cancer, blindness even. There were accounts of all kinds of miraculous cures, not unlike any of the baths throughout the world during that period, late 1800s, early 1900s. Eureka Springs was one of them. We did not have hot springs here at the time, but it didn't keep the people from coming by the droves. And early 1900s, Eureka Springs had a population of something like 25,000 people. Now it has a population, permanent population of 2. It swells much greater during the tourist season.
Today, there are scores of attractions tucked inside this unique Victorian village. Attractions which contribute to the nickname Eureka Springs has so lovingly been given, Little Switzerland of the Ozarks. Eureka Springs has undergone many changes over the years and has seen much success as well as failure. But due to the hard work and determination of its residents, Eureka Springs has mostly seen success. One of the best ways to learn about those same good folks, as well as the growth and development of the area, is by visiting area museums. With 3 floors and dozens of interesting local history exhibits to see, a visit to Eureka Springs Historical Museum will be a fun and exciting step back into the past. From the first floor, where you will take in the area's history, to the second and third floors, where you will learn how the women of Eureka contributed to the growth of the town, view military artifacts, examine antique medical equipment and tools, plus take in the beauty of the area as depicted in oil paintings, all contributing to a fun and educational day. The past is an absorbing place to visit, and at the castle and museum, you can do just that. Taking a step inside the castle is like taking a step back into time. The castle, which is built in a unique point rock design, has been completely furnished as a family lived in the early 1900s and includes furnishings from the charming and elegant to the ordinary and everyday. Following your tour through the castle, one is directed toward the museum. There are 5 locations of museum items on the grounds, where one will find almost anything of the early 1900s. There's something for everyone, everything from A to Z.
Our first season was April of 1974, and this is our 20th year being in the tourist business.
There are no time limits for the tour through the castle and museum, and guests are encouraged to stay as long as they wish, which makes for an excellent way to spend your day. One of the nation's most unusual museums can also be found in Eureka Springs, at Miles Musical Museum. Enjoy a truly remarkable and fascinating collection of musical instruments, which have been brought to Eureka from all parts of the world, plus hundreds of other interesting items. The Miles collection was started in 1955, when Mr. Miles began collecting as a hobby. However, with the encouragement of some friends, he soon decided to open a museum to share his priceless collections with others. This was just the beginning for the museum, as it has been added onto 3 times since its start in 1960. The museum houses not only musical instruments, but also a number of other items, such as the Burnsworth Miniature Mechanical Circus, the musical chapel and courtyards, the newly added Christmas shop, Toy Fairyland room, and much, much more.
We are opening at 9 o'clock in the morning and close at 4:30, 6 months out of the year. And we give these tours here, and it takes an hour for the tour, and booth rooms, half hour in each big room, and we play the instruments for them as we go along, and then they can spend another half an hour to an hour very easily looking around. This group that's in here right now from down in Louisiana, I guess they've been in here an hour and a half already, or 2 hours. They got here at 9 o'clock, and well, it's 10:30 now, it's an hour and a half.
Journey through the days of yesteryear on a tour that will prove to be both enjoyable and educational for the whole family. What started out as one family's dream and later developed into a reality is on display at Abundant Memories Heritage Village. Opening its doors in 1985, Abundant Memories is dedicated to the history of the United States of America and prides itself on reproducing a past that is both authentic and accurate.
We were collecting a little bit of it 35 years ago, but made some decisions about 25 years ago that meant we would start collecting for a dream in the future. Came here in 1985, took on 68 acres, began as a family to build every building, and it just was a construction effort that took 5 years to complete now. And what people do now, walk through in 23 buildings, take a look on the live stage program, Historama, and get a feeling of America's past 2 centuries ago.
During your tour of Abundant Memories, you will journey through 25 picturesque village buildings with thousands of quality antiques and artifacts. Enjoy hands-on learning concepts and participate in interesting and informative conversations with several of the family members. Just recently added are the Historama stage programs, which are performed live 4 times daily with a collection of authentic Revolutionary War period uniforms, guns, and artifacts. A truly unique and enjoyable way to spend your day. Dating back to 1886, the Crescent Hotel is considered a national landmark and one well worth seeing. Work originally began on the Crescent in 1884 with a total cost of $294,000, earning it the title of the finest hotel west of the Mississippi. Catering to the VIPs and the well-to-do Carriage set, the Crescent has earned a reputation known both far and wide. Perhaps the Crescent story is best told by its rarely seen ghost who occasionally visits the Crescent.
We talk primarily about 4 ghosts. And those 4 ghosts pretty much define various important segments in the history of the hotel. Starting with the first and oldest ghost here, who was a young man named Michael, we call him. And Michael was supposedly a stonecutter. Working on the 2nd floor one day, building the hotel, Michael fell to his death. And it's said that one of the ghosts that's been here the longest, of course, is in fact Michael. From Michael, we go to a gentleman who is most commonly called the Man in Black. The Man in Black is associated with that period of time at the peak of the Victorian era in the 1890s, 1910 period. He's wearing a formal suit of black with a top hat usually, and he is seen wandering the halls on various occasions, although he's not seen very much. The next ghost identifies an era that lasted about 25 years, in which during the wintertime the hotel was a girls' school. One of the ghosts is a student, supposedly, of that period of time, a student of the college. And supposedly she fell to her death or was pushed to her death from the 4th floor balcony. And she is seen as a young girl in the attire of that day.
Perhaps one of the saddest times for the hotel was the 3 years in which it served as a hospital. During that period, a gentleman by the name of Dr. Norman Baker operated the Baker Hospital and Health Resort. Dr. Baker made claims to cure very serious illnesses, such as cancer, without the aid of surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, or any other type of orthodox methods. Dr. Baker worked with a team of other doctors, however, was not really a doctor himself. Many of the bad times occurred at this time, as seriously ill people would come to the hospital as a last resort. This explains the presence of the 4th ghost, which has been spotted at the hotel.
A nurse during that period of time is the last ghost. She is seen quite frequently, wearing the attire of a nurse, a white smock, and usually seen pushing some type of apparatus. Appears to be a gurney or maybe a carriage of some type. So she epitomizes that period of time. And there have been other ghosts that have been sighted and identified and so forth, but those 4 are the ones we usually speak of most.
The Crescent appeals to a large number of people, particularly the elderly and couples who may be celebrating special occasions such as an anniversary or honeymoon. The appeal is very obvious as you dine in the elegant Crystal Room or step inside one of the 66 spacious Victorian rooms. You can even enjoy a romantic carriage ride as you take in the breathtaking beauty of the area. Hospitality has long been a trademark of Eureka Springs, Arkansas. From its earliest days, people of every description have been welcomed here for rest and rejuvenation. And what better way to relax than to be pampered and spoiled by one of Eureka's oldest bathhouses? The Palace Hotel and Bathhouse stands proudly along Spring Street, where it has stood since its opening over 90 years ago.
It was one of many bathhouses in Eureka Springs. I've forgotten the exact number, well over 40, I believe. And then over the years, they all either burned or went out of business with the passing fad and the time. And the Palace Bathhouse and the hotel endured throughout that entire history.
The Palace Hotel and Bathhouse was built in 1901 as a luxury hotel and bathhouse. It was originally built of limestone and was constructed by stone setters who were brought over in the late 1800s to early 1900s. Their purpose was to rebuild Eureka after one of the fires. The building was later restored in 1983 through 1989 to the height of the luxury that it offers today.
The rooms now are much larger. because we have taken out walls and added double-sized water jet tubs in each suite. And there are only 4 suites per floor, 4 on this floor, 4 on the floor below. So by that, you could see that the rooms would be much larger.
Over the years, the well-known and unknown have called it home. Catering to everyone from housewives to manual laborers, the palace provides the ultimate in pampering. With such luxuries as whirlpool mineral bath, eucalyptus steam baths, massage, and clay facials. They do offer one bit of good advice when visiting the town of Eureka.
The first thing that people should do when they come to Eureka Springs is leave their tie and their sport jacket at home and get into the habit of not having a tie, because there's no formal wear in Eureka Springs at all, so you should be comfortable. Anyone who's seen wearing a tie and a sport coat or a suit in Eureka Springs is assumed to be either en route to or from a funeral or a wedding, or a salesman from out of town.
Anyone wishing a few hours of pampering can visit the bathhouse, as it is open to the public. A trip down Eureka's historical streets will prove to be both an interesting and fascinating experience. Eureka is a small town of quaint and quirky architecture, old-fashioned attractions, and a tolerance for eccentricity. All the downtown buildings and most of those in the residential area are listed on the National Register of Historical Places. At the turn of the century, when people started relying on medical technology instead of healing springs of Eureka, the town's popularity and population declined. The town was too poor to modernize, which left the town frozen in time and attitude. The Eureka look is similar to houses of the period found elsewhere, but few here were designed by architects. Layouts for homes and businesses were rearranged to fit the lay of the land. A number of sites had to be blasted out of the bluff in order to build the home. One such site is the Rosalie House, a historical home that is open to the public. Tours are allowed through the beautiful home, which was built in 1883. Architecturally, the house is a subtle blend of Victorian styles, characterized by ornate flower and sawtooth patterns, which were introduced by Charles Eastlake, a furniture designer who also influenced the exterior design. Special attention has been taken during the planning and detailed design of the home, with hand-carved yellow pine woodwork. Gold leaf picture molding and plaster ceiling frescoes are but some of the original interior features. The exterior consists of handmade bricks, which were formed and fired in a brick kiln built in a side yard. The Rosalie House was the location of the town's first telephone switchboard, which connected the owner's livery stable with the Crescent Hotel on the hill above. The Queen Anne Mansion, located on the edge of Eureka's historical district, was originally built in 1891 in Carthage, Missouri. The beautiful mansion was built by Mr. Curtis Wright, who, by making his fortune in the furniture business, had access to top-quality woods that he chose for the interior of his new home. In 1984, the mansion was sold, and plans were made to dismantle the mansion and relocate it to Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
We purchased the mansion in 1984, and within 2 or 3 months began the move. And we had a crew working simultaneously, taking it down in Carthage, Missouri. We had to build a new foundation here. We moved the house in pieces. The highway department wouldn't let us take any pieces over 14 feet wide on the highway, so we had to break it down, and it took 37 lowboy trailers, and we used the lowboys so that the pieces would go under the power lines on the highway. It took 37 lowboys and 3 covered vans. Now, the covered vans were used to take the fireplace mantels and all this woodwork, which had to be taken down very carefully and crated. It took us 1 year to get the house erected on the new site and this level open. And it took us another year to finish the 2nd floor, another year after that to finish the 3rd. Eureka Springs is one of the most Victorian towns in the United States, and this house is a classic example of the Queen Anne Victorian style. We knew it would fit in very well because it was the same time frame. The other house being built in 1898 and this one built in 1891. It's one of the most spectacular Victorian homes we'd ever seen, and we knew it would be a viable tourist attraction. And it has turned out to be true. Just this last year, AAA made us the second star-rated attraction in Eureka Springs. The only other one is the Great Passion Play. There are only 7 in the whole state of Arkansas.
The purchase price of the home was $160,000, and another $450,000 was spent on moving and restoring all 3 floors. Today, you can tour this famous mansion and view all of the fine work and materials that have gone into the construction and renovation of this marvelous wonder. There are 7 fireplaces in the mansion, each one having its own unique mantelpiece, hand-carved of oak, cherry, walnut, or poplar. The main level of the home achieves an unusual open and spacious floor plan. Top this off with a massive staircase made of oak and all the intricate detailing of the mansion, and you will be treated to a very enjoyable day. Located on the Queen Anne grounds, you will also be in for a rare treat at the Wings Tour Home. Wings is a Victorian tour home with a year-round Christmas theme and is filled with over 70 exotic birds housed in beautiful glass cases called vivariums.
We have 4 or 5 parrots that are good talkers. One is sensational. He's the first one you see when you go in. His name is Arnold, and he laughs and cries like a baby and sings opera, but he only likes ladies. So the gentleman usually can't get him to do anything unless they have a lady with him that can get him started.
Wings was given its name due to 2 contributing factors. One, of course, being the fact that the birds dwell in the home. The second being the fact that the home is filled with interesting and very limited Christmas figurines, including angels. Eureka Springs is full of charm, elegance, and hospitality, and nowhere will you feel more welcome than at one of the many bed and breakfasts that dot the streets of Eureka Springs. Offering a variety of personal touches, the bed and breakfast inns will have you feeling right at home, while at the same time allowing you to take in the true feeling of Victorian charm. What began as a dream for L.K. and Elna M. Smith has grown into what is now considered Arkansas's #1 tourist attraction, the Great Passion Play. Established in 1965, the Elna M. Smith Foundation was the culmination of a vision conceived in the hearts and minds of the couple for 2 decades. The Smiths first visited Eureka Springs in the early 1940s, and the intrigue of the beautiful historical village brought them back many times each year. While searching for a home, the Smiths discovered Magnetic Mountain, at which time Mr. Smith turned to his wife and remarked, "Here should stand a giant monument as a memorial to Christ, to be known as the Christ of the Ozarks." Through the diligence of many dear friends, the Christ of the Ozark statue was completed and dedicated in 1966. When the giant structure was about half complete, the Smiths began to develop another of their dreams, that of converting one of the beautiful mountain slopes near the statue into an amphitheater, where the story of the Lord's last week on earth could be dramatically produced. The mountain slope was cleared and construction began. The Great Passion Play officially opened on July 15, 1968. As lovers of beautiful art pieces, the Smiths had collected many treasures for their enjoyment. But when they discovered the value of the many portrayals of Christ in various forms, they wanted to share them with others. And so the Christ-only art gallery was opened in downtown Eureka Springs. The same gallery and many additional religious works are now known as the Sacred Arts Center and is now located on the grounds. The Art Center houses over 1,000 depictions of Christ and other religious themes. The grounds continued to grow at a rapid pace, and soon in 1976, the Smith Memorial Chapel was built in honor of L.K. and Elna M. Smith. In the lower level of the building, you will find the Bible Museum, which contains over 6,000 Bibles printed in 625 languages as well as a large collection of parchment and artifacts. In 1983, the Inspirational Wood Carving Gallery was built on the grounds. Inside the gallery, you will view many magnificent religious carvings by the late Cecil Mount. These, along with other contemporary carvings and beautiful nativities from around the world, provide an inspiring portrayal of the life of Christ. In 1969, an ongoing project was started, which is the reconstruction of the New Holy Lands. While on your tour of the New Holy Lands, you'll visit many areas as depicted in the Bible, one of which includes the Apostle Peter, as he takes visitors on a walk around the Sea of Galilee and tells of his experience with Christ. A favorite of many is the Church in the Grove, a small rural church building that was moved to the foundation grounds in 1986. This very same building has been part of Northwest Arkansas since the early 1900s. Another display on the foundation grounds is the 10-foot section of the Berlin Wall, which was purchased in 1991 and erected in March of 1992. Painted on the wall by an East Berliner is a portion of the 23rd Psalm. A visit to the Great Passion Play grounds will surely be an inspirational experience, as one of the goals of the foundation is to uplift Christ and bring his message to all people. Built in 1904, the St. Elizabeth Catholic Church displays an interesting example of the blending of three types of architectural design. The church was designed and modeled after the St. Sophia Church, which stands in Istanbul, Turkey. St. Sophia was built in the 6th century AD and has provided the inspiration for not only the St. Elizabeth Church, but also for church buildings in many countries. Three very noteworthy points of interest in the church are the crucifix above the main altar, the chandelier light fixture in the memorial chapel, and the 4 illustrated panels located in the dome. St. Elizabeth's Church has become a landmark in Eureka Springs and is listed in the National Historic Register. The church's unique, unattached bell tower has welcomed thousands of visitors each year from all over the world. They come to admire the simplicity of the stone church, which was constructed years ago and which still holds its charm and peacefulness in the fast-paced world of today. You walk down a wooden trail, move around a curve, and there it stands. So beautiful, so close to God, so majestic, as if stretching right up to touch God. Thorncrown Chapel, located on Highway 62 just west of Eureka Springs, is one of Arkansas's most beautiful chapels, as it is made almost entirely of glass.
Well, the building is made of glass and pine wood, basically. It is 48 feet tall, so it would touch the tops of the trees that surround it, painted gray to blend in with the gray bark. There are over 20,000 pounds of glass, 425 individual panes of glass in that building. It sits in a beautiful wooded area.
Being made of glass, the chapel allows for an excellent view of the Ozarks, no matter what the season.
In the fall, the Ozarks are beautiful, and so we get various colors at that time. In the winter time, of course, most of the leaves are barren, but something very special happens with the rocky bluff that you can see outside of the chapel there. Sometimes you will be startled to see, after a rain and a freeze, 6 to 8 foot icicles hanging off of the rocky bluff up there, and that is spectacular too.
God has truly blessed the Ozarks with all the natural beauty and abundant resources, and He will surely bless you when you visit the Thorncrown Chapel. Miracle Mansion and Wedding Chapel is also an architecturally unique structure to add onto your list of activities. The mansion is built around a beautiful atrium with a winding staircase and a waterfall that descends into the chapel. The interior creates an unusual romantic background where many weddings are performed. Housed within the building on the second floor is the wonderful world of miniatures, featuring the presidents and the first ladies in inaugural gowns. Inside and out, the chapel is well worth the drive through the beautiful Ozark Hills. A trip to the Ozarks couldn't possibly be complete until you've taken in the good old country music that the Ozarks are famous for, and Eureka Springs has some of the finest around. Starting with Eureka's original country music and comedy show, the Pine Mountain Jamboree. You'll enjoy a foot-stomping, hand-clapping good time when you take in the excitement and laughter at the Pine Mountain Jamboree. Thousands of visitors will join the Pine Mountain entertainers this year with entertainment that will keep you asking for more. The Pine Mountain Jamboree offers a huge variety of entertainment and has something to suit everyone's taste.
I guess the biggest misconception would be is, they think that, if it's a country music show, it's going to be hillbillies and stuff doing their thing, but that's definitely not it. It's more of a variety show, definitely variety show. I would say we try to cover a bunch of different grounds, starting off with some of the older country music, then country and western music, a lot of big band stuff, some rock and roll stuff, just various, we try to cover a lot of different things, including gospel songs and quartet stuff.
Before the show, you may want to come early and stop by the Pine Mountain Village, where you'll find everything from Victorian shops, dining, and mouth-watering snacks, just for starters. There's a full day of entertainment, fun, and shopping just waiting for you at the Pine Mountain Jamboree. Come join the fun at the Ozark Mountain Hoe-Down, where they will entertain you as never before. This year, the show promises you more family fun, more variety, and more sparkle than ever before. Each year, top performers are chosen throughout the Ozark region as the best in their field. 3 of the cast members have been selected to fill these categories, making the Hoe-Down an award-winning cast.
For the first time in history, Eureka Springs collected 4 awards, and 3 of them were won by folks in the Hoe-Down.
Best Female Newcomer, Amy O. Best Mandolin Player of the Year, Buddy Griffin. And Best Comedian of the Year, Tater Patches, are but a few of the high-energized, highly talented performers that will make their way into your heart.
Basically, all the people that I have talked to in town, people I've just in Branson yesterday, everybody I talked to from here to Branson, they really, really highly recommend the Hoe-Down, say that they think it's one of the best shows in the Ozarks. And the reason being is, and what I think the people will see, is a show that never stops. When we hit the stage, the Hoe-Down cast entertains you from the minute they hit the stage, and they don't quit till the show's over.
Meet all the Hoe-Down gang, plus Elvis, Sammy Davis Jr., Dolly Parton, Porter Wagner, and many more of your all-time favorites, as the Hoe-Down keeps you laughing during their all-new comedy routine. Performing country, Cajun, pop, gospel, and ballads, this gang truly loves to perform, and it shows.
No, he said he wouldn't have no problem. So just bring him right on out here.
Bring him right on out of here, huh?
Enjoy 3 great shows under one roof when you visit the Swanee River Boys Country Review.
We're the new guys in town. We've been here like our 2nd season, as a matter of fact, so we're still trying to get the word out who we are and what we're doing. Consequently, our theater is really putting a hard press on. The Swanee River Boys are here Tuesday through Saturday. 2 shows a day. We do a 2 o'clock matinee, we do a show at 8 o'clock in the evening. Total of 10 shows a week for the Swanee River Boys. Well, that leaves Sunday and Monday. And rather than close the doors and darken the place down, we've brought in the Riders of the Purple Sage, who do a tremendous boots and saddles program, we call it, with the old Western swing and the cowboy songs. And they're here for 2 shows a day on Sunday and Monday, 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, we have the Al Brumley Show here in the morning, Eureka Springs' first and only morning show.
The Swanee River Boys have been on stage for years, performing to thousands of excited fans, with many hits that will not only bring back memories of days gone by, but will also have you singing along with many of today's top hits.
We mix a great variety of that in. We lean heavily on the contemporary country music. We sing a lot of the hits of the day. Naturally, we would by doing some of the Alabama and the Oak Ridge Boys material. However, when you play to such a varied audience like we have in Eureka Springs, you got to have a little something for everybody. So we have heavy emphasis on old-time songs as well as some of the current ones coming off the radio today, and a special emphasis on gospel music, because the Swanee River Boys were formed in 1937. 56 years of singing mostly gospel songs. So a lot of folks, when they come to hear the Swanee River Boys, expect to hear gospel, and we don't disappoint them. Having sung in the past with the Oak Ridge Boys and the Chuck Wagon Gang and the Rangers, I saw about as much of the road as I care to see. After a while, all the McDonald's look alike, all the white lines look alike. So we didn't retire to Eureka Springs. I've worked as hard as I've ever worked here in Eureka Springs, but it's a different sort of work. Now we sit still and let the crowds come to us. We perform on our stage without having to take our equipment down, tear it down, load it in a bus, and go to the next motel room. And it's become a place to where we can relate to the people a whole lot better, simply by virtue of now they're coming to our hometown. And I find a very promising future in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, because we're on the cusp of really becoming an entertainment capital in this particular part of Northwest Arkansas.
Also performing at the theater, you will be entertained by not only the writers of the Purple Sage, but the Al Brumley Show, a show which consists of many top gospel hits made popular by Al E. Brumley Sr. and performed by his son, Al E. Brumley Jr.
We offer them variety. We have country and bluegrass and a lot of gospel, of course, because my late father wrote a lot of great gospel songs like I'll Fly Away, Turn Your Radio On, I'll Meet You in the Morning, Rank Strangers, so many of the old standard gospel tunes. And we have comedy. We have Herbie Ziffel, who's a great comedian, but we stress variety. That is the main thing for our show.
3 great shows, 1 great theater, all at the Swanee River Boys Country Review. Bells, whistles, nostalgia, thrills. The colorful saga of the American Railroad lives on at the Eureka Springs and North Arkansas Railway. Take a giant step back into the past, into a time when steam locomotives ruled the rails, their grace and beauty capturing the eye of men both young and old alike. The Eureka Springs and North Arkansas Railway was completely restored in 1961, after the whole railroad had been scrapped.
The depot is a real nice old depot built in 1912. We did have the road bed. We had to reacquire the right-of-way, but the old road bed was in pretty fair condition. So that's kind of what we started with, the depot and the road bed, and everything else we had to sort of recreate. Built the bridges and laid the track back and hauled ballast in, ballasted the track, hauled the coaches in, hauled the locomotives in, the water tank, the switches, turntable, everything that's here has been hauled in by truck right down through Eureka Springs.
Recall a time in history when steam locomotives transported travelers and tourists as well through the beautiful Ozark Hills. Plus, relive railroad's golden age of steam locomotive travel that was made obsolete in 1946. And don't forget to check out the lunch and dinner excursions aboard the elegant Eureka dining car. There's lots to see. There's lots to do aboard the historical Eureka Springs and North Arkansas Railway. While you have trains on your mind, take a short drive to Little Trains of the Ozarks. Marvel to this one-of-a-kind Ozark attraction, plus one of the largest electric train displays in all of America.
I call it the 8th wonder of the world. A lot of people, especially the women folks, don't like to, come back because they ain't interested in train, but once they walk through that door, they get all excited.
Experience this unique electric train display featuring 52,000 pounds of native rock, waterfalls, trestles, and more.
They see a display here that is 20 foot wide, 100 foot long. We have a little better than 52,000 pounds of rock stacked in here, real rocks from mountains and live waterfalls, between 700 and 900 feet of track laid out, with 6 different trains running on the tracks. This is a G-scales. They actually made to run outside. We just brought it inside so that the folks that come to visit Eureka Springs will have somewhere to come and watch. They enjoy watching miniature trains run, that they can come and see them.
Take your family and enjoy this unusual, interesting family attraction, where you will experience fun for the entire family. Waiting your arrival and new in 1993, experience the splendor and beauty of the Eureka Springs Gardens. Stroll through 33 acres of breathtaking, unspoiled beauty. Spanning the acreage, the informal grounds are filled with an abundance of hardwood trees and select native plants, and enhanced by the brilliant palette of colors provided by an ever-changing flora. Designed and maintained by some of America's most respected horticulturists, Eureka Springs Gardens features a carefully balanced mix of seasonal flowers, assuring that every visit unfolds a fresh experience. While enjoying the natural beauty and elegance of the Ozarks, take a relaxing walk down one of the nature trails and check out 2 truly unique and fascinating geological formations, Pivot Rock and Natural Bridge. Pivot Rock, the rock shaped like a top balanced on its pointed end, plus the nearby Natural Bridge have long been a favorite of tourists and has been the subject of Ripley's Believe It or Not. On rare occasions does nature reveal its magic and wonder. However, in this tranquil, wooded area, you can sneak a peek at not one, but 2 of these wonders. If rock exploration is on your list of activities, you will enjoy Dinosaur Park, where we take a giant step back 250 million years ago into the Stone Age. Dinosaur World inhabits 65 acres of beautiful, picturesque splendor and is home to over 100 life-size prehistoric replicas.
Well, the Dinosaur Park consists of over 100 life-size replicas. We have a 7-acre fishing lake here where you can fish anywhere along the bank. We have miniature golf. You drive through and you can pull over and get out anywhere you want to. We also have a nice little cafe in there. We serve dinosaur burgers. And we have an RV park across the road.
Take a walk or enjoy a leisurely drive along this 2-mile journey into the past. Take a deep breath of fresh, invigorating mountain air as you sample the tranquil atmosphere and beauty of the Ozark outdoors. Nel-Vic's tour home will let you do just that. Picnic near the Kings River, play a rousing game of croquet, horseshoes, or mini golf, and take in the sheer elegance of the Ozarks while you visit the Nel-Vic tour home. And don't forget to check out the many collections which are on display inside the home as they turn back the calendar to a treasury of memories. A perfect getaway for yourself, plus an excellent opportunity for those special family times. What began as a unique hobby for one Eureka residents and later grew into a full-time project is on display at Quigley's Castle. In 1943, after tearing down their existing home and building a new one, the Quigleys soon realized there was not enough money to put the siding on the home. Thus the beginning of this unique hobby.
We didn't have enough money to put siding on the house, and so she decided she was going to put a rock collection on it. Well, we didn't think that she'd go much more than 4 feet up on it because she's scared of heights. But then she just kept on going, and she went all the way around it. And the more she did, well, the more people talked about it, and they come out here to see it. She swore up and down she'd never touch another rock, but she did all this around the yard and the garden spots and such like, with more flower pots, and the more she needed a pot, well, more she'd do on it.
The grounds around Mrs. Quigley's home are just as amazing as the home itself, as she soon began to build everything out of rock and cement, including a picnic table and benches. She later started collecting bottles of various colors and shapes, which she made into bottle trees, which she said added color to the yard during the winter months. The summer months are all in bloom with flowers of every shape and variety.
I don't know how many different types of flowers. I've got 2 books, album books of flowers, pictures of the flowers, and we still don't have all the names to them.
She wanted to bring the flowers inside, and she wanted them to be outside of the living space so that her family could be comfortable with them also. So she left the house designed with 2 foundations. The outside wall goes down to bedrock, so nothing can crawl under that. And then there's an inside wall for the living space so that the ground was left for the flowers. These are her original plants, and they're in their 40s, and they grow up to the 2nd-story ceiling.
The inside of the home is just as unique as Mrs. Quigley herself, with many unusual and amazing collections. You'll be amazed as you round each corner.
Well, when they come in, they can expect to see anything that she collected down through the years. She loved nature, and she wanted to bring it inside. The flowers she brought inside, she used all the rocks that she'd collected from the time she was 8 years old to make flower pots and bird cages, a fish aquarium. There's a butterfly wall upstairs, a whole wall that she covered using the rocks and the butterflies, and it's a collage of things.
Known as the Ozarks' strangest dwelling, don't forget to rock on down to Quigley's Castle. Just a stone's throw away from Quigley's Castle, you may decide to try your hand at trail riding. At Redbud Stables, you will enjoy a scenic ride through secluded trails and take in the awesome beauty that the Ozarks have to offer.
Oh, it's about 2 miles. It's a little bit under an hour ride. Nice ride. Usually they're well-behaved horses, and we take good care of them. Well, these horses, we look for gentle horses to begin with. And most all of them are quarter horses, and we have a couple of Appaloosas. And one of them, though you can't tell by his coloring, he's got a little paint in him. But generally, they're just all quarter horse.
If visiting during the winter months, you may want to join the Redbud Gang for a longer and even more scenic ride. For the animal lover, Eureka Springs has something to offer you too. New to the area, Turpentine Creek Exotic Wildlife Ranch specializes in rescuing unwanted carnivores and providing them with a safe home in a caring environment.
We started back in October. We opened up this Turpentine Creek Exotic Wildlife Ranch, and we're a refuge for the large carnivores. We've put about 17 years into owning and having big cats, and it all happened by accident actually. But we've done real well with it. We're growing. We've purchased 463 acres here in Eureka Springs, and we're developing every day. We're growing. The purpose of the foundation is to house the unwanted large cats that people get. A lot of people get these cats as cubs. You know, they're so cute and cuddly, and then they grow up and they're more responsibility than what they thought they would be.
These animals have come from all walks of life and are either unwanted, abandoned, surplus, homeless, or simply from homes where the owner could no longer take care of them. Many of these precious creatures would have been destroyed had the owners and staff of Turpentine Creek not taken them in.
We got Bum. Bum is our original cat. We got Bum back in 1977. My dad got him from a car dealer that he knew, and the car dealer just happened to take the cat in on a repossession is what happened. Well, we got Sheila. That was our next cat. We've had her for about 11 years, and a man and a woman had a baby, and they had bought the lion cub when they had the baby, and they were living in a Fort Worth apartment. and they decided that about 5 months later that wasn't going to work. We got Morris and Boss and Barbarella. We got them from Altus, Oklahoma, some people there. Apparently the husband left the wife, and the wife went to her mother's, and no one was there to take care of the cats, and they were left in the middle of town for about 3 weeks without any food or water. And the authorities gave us a call and said that we needed to come get the cats, so we went after them. They said, bring food when we come, so we did.
Turpentine Creek is constantly building new habitats and shelters for their ever-growing family of animal friends. What a blessing to view these wonderful, elegant creatures of God living and loving their new home right here at Turpentine Creek. If you still want more action on your vacation, you won't be disappointed, as Beaver Lake, White River, and Kings River are just minutes from Eureka Springs, with plenty of water for skiing, boating, and fishing. These lakes will make a perfect vacation retreat for the water lover. Exploring Beaver Lake and taking in the natural wonders of God's handiwork may be one of the highlights of your vacation. And what better way to see the lake than to take a cruise on the Belle of the Ozarks? The Belle of the Ozarks is a 49-passenger Coast Guard certified vessel, departing from Starkey Marina several times daily.
Well, Belle of the Ozarks was a creation of my husband's dream to be out here on Beaver Lake. We feel like Beaver Lake is one of the prettiest lakes in the whole Ozark region, and we wanted to be out here and enjoying it on a daily basis. So we decided to go ahead and build the Belle of the Ozarks with the help of 2 other gentlemen. Well, we take a 10-mile cruise on Beaver Lake. We show them all the main points of interest. We go by the Lost Bridge area. We see Indian Bluffs, Beaver Dam, of course, one of the main points of interest. The Dam Site Recreation Park, which is a favorite place for camping in the area. We also see quite a bit of the sailing, parasailing, scuba diving, and a tremendous amount of wildlife because we do go completely around a 200-acre game preserve island. We've seen the bucks and the little fawns even swimming the lake, so we never know what we're going to see. It's quite exciting.
Don't miss the boat on this one. It's sure to be a fun and educational trip for all. There is a mysterious attraction to caves. Perhaps it is some ancient instinct tied to the fact that caves were man's earliest homes, or perhaps it's the mystery of the unknown. Whatever the reason, the Onyx Cave is a fun and interesting way to spend your time. The Onyx Cave was first discovered in 1891 when the Huntsville Bank was robbed. The bank robbers were caught a few miles away, but they had already hidden their loot. Tracing the robbers' path, they soon stumbled upon the opening to the cave, which was on a piece of property owned by Buck Robbins. Mr. Robbins owned the cave for several years, where he ran a very unusual business.
Well, Buck Robbins actually ran a moonshine still here, so I'm sure that a lot of the visitors to the cave was his customers. He had it, I believe, until early 1920s, and then it went up for back taxes. Another local man bought the cave. That's about as far as we know from then. And the family that owns the cave now, which their last name is Schmidt, they've had it since, I believe, the mid-60s. And they're the ones that really developed it, put in all the nice radio equipment, and started running regular tour guides.
When you tour the Onyx Cave, you will enjoy a very unique and original learning aid, which will allow you to hear the whole tour up close and personal.
When you come in and register at the front desk, we'll give you a set of headphones, which we'll turn them on and everything for you. Now, the way these work, you put them on, and you look for green lights mounted on the handrails. Whenever you find a green light, you look down at your feet, you'll see a yellow stripe around 30, 40 feet long. That marks the antenna, so you have to stand right on top of it for the radios to get a good reception. Then just give the green light a push, and that'll activate the message. Each message is around 2 to 3 minutes long, and the whole tour takes 30 minutes. There's 8 of these sections throughout the cave.
While at the Onyx, you will enjoy smooth, wide, walkable paths, which are suitable for the whole family, plus view many unique and original formations.
Well, we have several unique formations. They will see like the elephant here behind me and our dragon over here on this side. We also have, of course, the moonshine steel, many beautiful stalactite and stalagmite formations. Now, stalactite has a C in it. That is for the ceiling. It does come off the ceiling. Stalagmites grow from the ground up. They'll see we do have a small wishing well area. Toss your coin in for good luck. We do have an underground stream. When it's in the rainy season, it's really roaring over that little dam, so you'll get a lot of water down here. Also, we have a formation called boxwork. And as far as we know, we're one of the 2 caves in the United States that has this formation.
Be sure to bring your family, bring your camera, and bring your walking shoes for a delightful and enlightening good time. At Cosmic Cavern, you will discover the beauty of God's handiwork while you travel through one of the Ozark's prettiest caverns. Founded in 1845 by a lead prospector, Cosmic Caverns has held approximately 6 different names over the years before being blessed with its current and final title.
We have a mass amount of formations. This is one of the most decorated caves in this area. We have a lot of variety of formations, stalactites, not just stalactites and stalagmites like a lot of caves have. A lot of different color, quite a bit of color in this cave. And we point all this out. We have a studio set up in one section where people can actually bring their camera. We take a family picture. We can fit 12, 15 people at a time in that one section. So we try to cater to the people and talk to them and not at them. So we're treating you personally.
Cosmic Cavern is one of the few caverns that possesses not only a natural entrance, but also the Ozark's largest underground lake.
You can see the underground lake, which we never have found the end or the bottom of. We've tried depth finders and divers. We've dropped bricks, and we never will find a true bottom because it's situated along a major fault line. And the entire cave follows this major fault line for the amount of the cave that we know about now.
While on your tour of Cosmic Cavern, you will view over 1/3 mile of natural beauty. And just when you think you've seen it all, just wait.
Arkansas Silent Splendor, we call it, was found in January of '93. We're still exploring it. We've found about 1,000 feet of cave, which is right behind the wall right behind me. It is probably one of the most decorated areas in this region, and we're going to give in '93, we're going to give wild spelunking tours. We look to have this open in the near future. The problem is we found 2 more underground lakes, and to traverse those lakes is no problem now by using a raft. But when you take 25 to 30 people at a time, we're not going to be able to load everybody up in boats. We're going to be able to build a walkway back there in some near future.
With temperature remaining at 58 degrees, Cosmic Cavern is open year-round. So grab your camera and your VCR and head straight to Cosmic Cavern for an adventure that will be enjoyed by both young and old alike. Just a few miles from Eureka Springs and a beautiful drive through the Ozarks, you may also wish to tour the War Eagle Cavern. The War Eagle Cavern was opened to the public in 1978, but its creation began thousands of years ago.
This particular cave does have a nice natural entrance, which you don't find in a lot of the commercial caverns. And you come down the mountain from our gift shop into the cave entrance, and when you get to the cave entrance, you walk in fairly level. There's no steps or tight places inside the cave. And we show about 1/4 of a mile of the cavern itself.
Located on 20 acres bordering Beaver Lake, a tour of the War Eagle Cavern and the cavern grounds will allow you an excellent view of the natural, unspoiled Ozark beauty.
What they'll see is just what grows naturally in the Ozarks. All the wildflowers, if there happen to be some of them blooming, they're natural flowers. The trees, we have a great variety of trees. And we tried to leave the place just as natural as we could because we wanted you to be able to see it in its natural state. And in our cave tour, you feel like you are going into a wild cave. We tried to leave everything just untouched as we could.
The Caverns, prior to becoming a tourist attraction, was a playground for area children. And today, it is still a perfect opportunity for children of all ages to experience cave scouting.
The path down the mountainside is wide. It's gravel most of the way. It does have some blacktop on it, but it's all 6 or 8 feet wide. The paths inside the cavern are 6 feet wide, and there's no drop-offs, there's no bluffs, there's really nothing dangerous in there. It's a real good cave for children, and our guides enjoy children. We appreciate people bringing their children out because this is just kind of a little underground laboratory, and they learn a lot coming down here.
War Eagle Caverns, where the past, present, and future are suspended in timeless beauty. Just a short distance from the War Eagle Caverns, you may also wish to check out the War Eagle Mill. War Eagle has been the setting for the War Eagle Mill for over 150 years. However, the mill has been rebuilt 4 times. The original mill was washed away during flood season. The second burnt down during the Civil War. And in 1873, the third mill was built. In 1924, however, this mill burnt also. The current mill was built in 1973 and sits on the original foundation.
150 years ago, the only place to put a grist mill, of course, was on the water. That's all you had was water power. And a grist mill was the center of the community. It's been called the gathering place. And a lot of times people lived far away from their neighbors, and that might be the only time they'd see their neighbors is when they'd come down to the grist mill, and that's where they'd get the local news and find out what's going on in their community. So it was a gathering place.
Today, the mill is still in operation, being one of the only water-powered grist mills in Arkansas. Operating with a 150-year-old grist mill, the mill grinds all natural grains while you watch the entire process.
Well, the mill is still used as for grinding flour and meal like what it's always been used for. We do that on first floor, and then on second floor we have a gift shop, and then third floor is the Bean Palace restaurant. We're famous for our beans and cornbread.
People from all over the United States come to visit War Eagle each year, not only to view the mill at work, but also to enjoy the arts and crafts festivals that War Eagle is famous for.
We have 2 arts and crafts festivals every year. It's the 1st of May is the Spring Arts and Crafts Antique Fair, and then in October we have the October Show, and it's the big one.
Come take a look at War Eagle Mill, where history and natural heritage are a tradition. Eureka Springs truly has something for everyone, including the children. Whether you're young or just young at heart, you will enjoy a trip to the Fun Spot. The Fun Spot offers go-karts, mini-golf, and bumper boats, as well as indoor games that will entertain and revitalize you after a full day of sightseeing. So gather up the kids and take them for a fun and exciting time at the Fun Spot. There comes a time, beginning in November, when Eureka bubbles with added excitement and holiday cheer. The leaves of autumn drift to the ground, and the tiny town of Eureka Springs is filled with excitement, joy, and cheer. This is, after all, the Victorian village that started Christmas celebrations in the Ozark on a grand style, and nobody does it better. From the tiny shops bursting with cheer to the Christmas dramas filled with love for our Savior, Jesus Christ, Eureka Springs is truly an inspiration to all who visit during the Christmas holiday. Don't forget to catch the magic this year in beautiful, historical Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
That's Eureka Springs. We hope you come visit our little city soon. If we can help you here at the Chamber of Commerce, give us a call. Our toll-free number is 1-800
6 Eureka, and we'll be happy to send you information about Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
For a toe-tapping, hand-clapping good time, hop on board for a trip down 76 Music Boulevard to glorious Branson, Missouri. During this 1-hour, 15-minute videotape, we'll visit such greats as Andy Williams, Roy Clark, Mo Bandy, Boxcar Willie, Christy Lane, and many, many more. Enjoy enlightening interviews with some of the stars. Hear how Branson got its start back in the 1960s. Plus, learn how Harold Bell Wright influenced the Branson area during your stop at the famous Mutton Hollow. We'll visit local tourist areas, including the newest, most exciting sport of bungee jumping, a sport that has taken the world by storm. Check out restaurants, RV parks, shopping centers, craft villages, and even the inspirational Shepherd of the Hills, the show that has all of Branson talking. We'll cover all the ins and outs of Branson and leave you searching for your calendar. This year, schedule your vacation in the beautiful and luscious Ozarks. We'll be watching for you on the 76th Strip in Branson, Missouri, the country capital of America. Celebrate the holidays in style with this fascinating 50-minute video depicting Branson at its finest. During this 50-minute musical video, you will enjoy many of your favorite Christmas songs, all sung by your favorite Branson stars, including Mo Bandy, Carlotta Gale, Bob Leftridge, Splinter Middleton, Tracy Heaston, and more. You will also view many of the beautiful lights, decorations, and snow scenes that are so gorgeous during the Christmas holidays, and all set to some of your favorite Christmas songs. Enjoy excerpts from The Shepherd of the Hills, The Newborn King, plus many of the fabulous floats and attractions of the yearly Parade of Lights. We'll even take a peek at some of the carolers and handbell ringers that are so popular during the season. Enjoy the holidays Branson style with this beautiful and colorful musical videotape. It's a unique and exciting way to share the holidays with family and friends. To order your copy of Ozark Mountain Christmas, simply call 1-800-843-3629 or write to American Vacation Videos, 1206 North 8th Street, Rogers, Arkansas, 72756. MasterCard and Visa are gladly accepted.
Steamboat coming!
All aboard for an exciting and fun-loving ride down the Mississippi. Destination, Hannibal, Missouri, boyhood home of Mark Twain. Enjoy a one-of-a-kind adventure into the world of Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, and Becky Thatcher when you visit the hometown of Samuel Clemens. Known best for his writings The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, The Adventures of Huck Finn, and Life on the Mississippi, Mark Twain is remembered and honored in his boyhood home of Hannibal, Missouri. Journey through the Mark Twain Cave, the Mark Twain Boyhood Home and Museum, the Becky Thatcher Home and Bookshop, Clemens Law Office, and much more. Spend an evening with Molly Brown. Witness the unfolding of Mark Twain's famous characters at the Mark Twain Outdoor Theater, or take a glimpse of Twain, his family, and friends at the Wax Museum. It's all here and waiting for your visit. Stroll through the Rockcliffe and Garth Woodside mansions. Enjoy an exciting ride aboard the Hannibal Trolley and the Twainland Express, or just take in the beauty and splendor that Hannibal is known for worldwide. To order, simply send $9.99 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to American Vacation Videos, 1206 North 8th Street, Rogers, Arkansas, 72756, or call 1-800-843-3629. MasterCard and Visa are gladly accepted.